Ladies and gentlemen, what is good? The fellas are back in the house tonight, and we are going to do it right like we always are. Hopefully, everyone had a great weekend, running strong. No NBA right now besides the All-Star break, so we are just scrounging around, looking around for what are the hidden nooks that we can make a little cash off of. But nonetheless, we are going strong, guys, getting all that content out to you like you love. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, and X right now, guys. Give it a follow at the Bet Champ Show. That's on TikTok and Instagram. Free plays coming your way every day. Free content. The fellas are here. That's what we do. Get to know it a little better, but we got you guys. The BCS After Hours Show. And let's do a quick roll call here. We got the Soch man in the house. North Glen Tennis. Soch, how we doing?
Feeling good. It's good to have the boys all back together. You know, we had E and Whit on they were out on assignment the last couple ones. You know, it was one or the other. Who's out on assignment today? That was pretty much the question, but feeling good. It was a subpar All-Star weekend, but you know, we made a little money out there on those games and challenges and whatnot. But it's good to be back. Good to have the boys all here. So looking forward to this one.
100%, Soch, man. Good to have you. And then again, now we got that just one man with the glass in his hand. We got the Whitster in the building. Whit, how are we doing?
Chilling. Good to be back from assignment. Good to have E back off the road. Know he's safe. I know it's winter conditions out there, so it's good to have him back safe and sound. You know, and it's good to be back with the boys. Looks like you guys have a little bit frigid temperatures over there with the beanie and the bangs, keeping your forehead warm.
Yeah.
We'll keep it rocking and moving along, but we got the money man himself in the building. Big E is here. E, how we doing?
Good. Awesome. And great even. I'm glad to be back. ZJ had me out scouting out some Korean ping pong for the break, but I got some stuff back, so we'll be okay. We still had a good weekend. You know, Duke hit, NHL hit. We were there with the golf. I mean, we're still cashing checks just because there's no NBA.
100%. And we're going to keep doing that, guys. We will roll into tonight's show and give us a like, comment, and subscribe for all that content you guys want to see. We're here to make it easier on you guys. We do the hard work for you. We're top plays to you guys, but interact with us. Leave us a comment. Let us know what else you would like to see in the show. But let's get off to it, guys. Just finished off All-Star break for the NBA. How are we kind of feeling on that? Is that starting to go away almost? How are we feeling in the All-Star break in general, everything we saw?
I mean, I kind of view it like this. I don't really like to disappoint me. I'd have to have a bar to really go off of. And I mean, the All-Star game and the whole weekend has been pretty much nothing the last 5-6 years. So I don't really have any expectations going into it. And it seems like a lot of people are frustrated and disappointed. In my opinion, it's like, what are you really going off of? I mean, we've seen, you know, time and time again what it is, how the game goes. You know, we'd all like for it to be competitive, how it used to be, but it's just not the reality anymore. So, I mean, I don't have any expectations going into it. So it was just an average weekend, I guess. It's fun to see that, you know, all the guys out there, you know, playing 3-point contest and Sabrina and Steph and all the, you know, the celebrities out there. But I mean, other than that, I just thought it was an average weekend, and, you know, that's what we're going to continue to get time and time again going into these games. So that's how I kind of pretty much viewed it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm with Soch, but man, the game is just like, these guys are getting paid more than they ever have, both in game and out of the game. And you're telling me, okay, say you tear an ACL, say something happens, right? God forbid. It's like, dude, can you give us the sponsors, the people tuning in to like this? Can you give us a quarter or a quarter and a half of competitive basketball like it used to be in the fourth quarter, you know, where the juices get going and stuff? Or can you compete? You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I'd have a hard time people just running by me, dunking, doing whatever. I mean, there was times it was like 2-on-1. They weren't even getting down the court. It was like, don't even have the game if this is what it's going to be. You know what I mean? Let's do something a little bit more creative. You went with the draft, but the draft for what? Like, what are we drafting? You know what I mean? It's just weird. But I was disappointed. I kind of turned it off towards the end, man. I was just like, whatever. But 3-point shootout was good. Dunk contest again was the dunk contest, and then the Steph 3-point competition was all right. But I'll let E get off on the belt, man. But you got this business too, and you get a card. What is that? A cardboard belt, man? You got like a stop. I don't even know what that
No,
was.
it was horrible.
Yeah,
That looked like it was from Walmart. That was horrible.
yeah. Well, that was embarrassing.
That was horrible.
It's like I feel like maybe
left it there.
I feel like our show, even in the infancy, could have sponsored a belt better than that. You know what I mean?
I agree.
100%. 100%.
You know, the skills competition still enjoyed. I enjoyed the 3 points, right? 3-point competition was nice. Steph comp. That skills competition was you know, like just at least act like you want to be there. You know what I mean? You had the one guy in the final round or the tiebreaker, dude from Toronto. What's his name?
Scotty Barnes.
Yeah.
Scotty Barnes. He's shooting the ball backwards. Like you're not even having any respect for what's going on. He's got his back turned to the hoop, shooting the ball. You're like, come on, man. Is this where we're at with this? It was almost, and we played Indiana, so it's good. But it was almost like, look, Indiana's going to win this thing. Let's just go out there, goof around till they get it. As far as the game, I agree with Sauce. As it is what it is. It'll never be back to what it was. But man, think about. You have the best players in the world gathered together.
All together.
Basically a pickup. In a pickup game. Let's play ball. Let's do something. And it's nothing. They don't defend. They don't do anything. Man, let's see who's what, right? Let's get out. The best around the world. And they just don't do it. So, but I think we got to get ready for that, right? And you just kind of expect what it's going to be. TNT is going to come back and say, look, we had the highest ratings. The thing's a hit. So sponsors will be happy.
But for how long? You know what I mean?
I think we looks
Think
like
I think we lost E.
keep it rolling. Yeah, I was just gonna add with it and everything. There he is. I was just kind of gonna add. Yeah, I mean it's just not not fun anymore. They're doing that whole in-season tournament thing. You're paying guys now. I mean, you're paying the players who win the tournament. Why can't we do something like that with the All-Star weekend, right? Why can't we put a little cash in front of the players, make it a little more interesting? You know, if you win the dunk contest, there's a mill right there. Whatever team, East or West, if you win the All-Star game, there's $500,000 a player, right? Obviously, these guys are bigger names there, but I mean, the money usually talks, right? That's what's getting these guys to come out and play even more. So why can't we do that if we're doing that with the in-season tournament? Dunk contest for me and for the past couple of years was just sorry outside of Matt McClung. I mean, that guy came to play. That guy came to ball. But I felt like the whole time they were glazing Jaylen Brown. I thought the guys outside of Jaylen Brown who didn't make it to the final round had way better dunks than Jaylen Brown. Was doing the most mediocre in-game dunks I've ever seen. It was embarrassing. I saw Shannon Sharp on First Take today. No disrespect to Kai Cenat, but he was like, you're gonna have Jaylen Brown jump over a dude who's like, you know, he said like 3'5", right? And he's sitting on a chair. He was like, Matt McClung just dunked over Shaq. Like, so what are we doing? I don't know if you missed it or whatnot, but what I was saying for the whole All-Star break and just the challenges as well as the game, you know, they're paying the guys who win the in-season tournament. Why not do something kind of like that with the All-Star game, right? Obviously, they're higher names in that All-Star game, but I mean, a little incentive to do something to play a little harder. You know, money talks there. And
so ZJ,
for
I know
challenges.
they get paid, you know, like the dunk contest. The first place is $100,000, second place 50, then 25 grand. 3-point.
Yeah, I'm saying though, it's got to be a little more than that. Though.
Yeah, you know, when you're getting taxed, that's a special pay. You're getting taxed at that 34% or whatever, 36%. You know what I mean? So it's really you're looking at, you know, 16 grand if you runner up in the 3-point contest. You know what I mean? So, but they got to put a little more on it. They get a new belt, man. A new belt. It was embarrassing.
Yeah. I mean, I think even for the dunk contest, they should either go to straight like G League guys that want to build a name for themselves, want to try to get potential sponsors. Because I mean, Mac McClung, he's not an NBA like legit player. He's in the G League, so
Yeah.
he wants to go out there and make a name for himself, show what he can do, I guess, in terms of dunking. But if they just either switch to all G League guys that can fly, or even just go to a celebrity dunk contest, like I knew that used to pop back in the day. Like at least the fans will like. I'd rather watch celebrities try to dunk and do cool dunks instead of watch these, top of the line big name players just do dunking over a 5-foot guy. So I think the celebrity or just the G League dunk contest would do better views, I guess, but I don't know.
I honestly think this generation is just kind of like, it's like so much social that they're so scared of being a meme, or they're so scared of failure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, man. That's an interesting place to be. Not in their shoes, but it's like, I think all four of us are friends, and I don't think ZJ would give me no slack. I know Eric wouldn't if we were competing at anything. Like you're playing to talk shit. Like I want to be able to talk shit to you every time I see you until you beat me. You know what I mean? So that's what's, I guess, weird to me, but different strokes.
The other thing with it too, especially with this last one, I mean the game itself. I mean, look at that Western Conference roster, and then look at the Eastern Conference, and then the Eastern ended up winning. Obviously, none of these guys are playing, but everyone who was on that Western Conference roster, no one wants to go out there and kick some ass. Like that's crazy to me. Like it's insane. They were stacked. Those guys were stacked, and it's embarrassing, man. It really is. It really is.
The East had the dogs, though, and that was it. And even that, no defense. They're just there to be there, man. Entertain and let me get out, catch this 3 more days, go to Cabo, and have a good run. But again, it is what it's going to be. We'll see what TNT says about the ratings, but I'm sure they're going to say it was.
Yeah, the crazy part too was, I don't know if you guys caught. Obviously, we didn't watch the whole game. I clearly didn't, but I saw some clips from Adam Silver at the end of the All-Star game when he was presenting the trophy, right, in the MVP. He was, congratulations to the Eastern Conference winners. You guys passed the scoring record. You went, it was like 211, but he paused, like he wasn't happy about it, and then he was like, "So congratulations." Because even him, he was like, "This is embarrassing." Like, what you guys got to 211 or whatever points it was, but that's just because it's embarrassing. It's not even a thing.
It was like 2011. That was the total score I saw, was 211. That was the combined score.
Yeah.
Well, no, the Eastern Conference, they scored like 211.
No, that's what he's saying.
Total score.
Yeah, he is
embarrassing.
He is saying in 2011, right? You're saying that was the total score.
Yeah, the total score.
I got you. Yeah, that's embarrassing. So I mean, we'll see what gets done there. I saw obviously like First Take, Shannon and Stephen A were completely blown it. They were embarrassed too. Something needs to be done. Who knows what's gonna happen? But I mean, for all the sports, for all the sports fans out there, I mean, it's not even a fun weekend for you, right? What do we love in the game of sports? We love seeing the competition. We love making the bets, and you can't really do any of that on these all-star breaks, including even with the NFL too. It's just, some stuff's got to be done. It's just not entertaining anymore.
Yeah.
But with being said, we will go ahead, E.
I'll just give you this. I think partially, like with the big guys, LeBron, Durant, these guys they're corporations, right? I mean, everybody would love to see LeBron in the dunk in his 20 years. But I think his people are in his ear. Hey, if you lose the dunk contest, it's going to hurt the brand. It's going to hurt the brand. Same thing with Durant and these guys and Kyrie and all them. They're bigger than ball players now. So I think that has a lot to do with it too. Instead of just, hey, like Witt said, who cares, man? You go out there, you compete. Best man comes up with it, and you run with it. But besides Jaylen Brown, and as a Knicks fan, I know Toppin, you're looking who these guys are. You're like, who's even in this competition?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, where's Zion Williams? Where's the dunkers?
And to bring
I don't know.
and to kind of what you're saying, E, with these guys are a brand thing too. And I mean, at least give Jaylen Brown some props for being an all-star ground doing the dunk contest. But even with him losing the Matt McClung, that's got to be embarrassing for him. You know what I mean? Like, he's the only all-star out there. But it is what it is. Shout out to Matt McClung, because that guy had some dunks in his bag. But that was a guy who actually wanted to be there, wanted to do the dunk competition.
He's got some hops, man. Hit his head on
Jaylen Brown was doing all in-game dunks. It was the most lamest thing I've ever seen. And that's the standard.
Well, I mean, when you look at the dunk contest, like, I don't know if Jaylen Brown necessarily feels embarrassed by it, because
he's not a dunker.
Being a dunker and being a basketball player are two completely different things. Like, there's a professional dunk like league. There's a professional dunk contest where guys like Jordan Kilganon, he's one of the best dunkers in the world. He's not a basketball player, like, where he's, you know, trying to go pro. He went, you know, stuff like that. They might be better off just doing a professional, like, just have professional dunkers in this contest where we can see things that we've never seen before. These guys are focusing, you know, on their craft throughout the whole year about being a basketball player. Professional dunkers are working on creative dunks and new dunks that have never been done before, and that's what they focus on. You're better off just doing that, and even maybe give them a prize or something like that, or have a pool, like, you know, have the East and West, you know, they all come together and they pick a pool of like 3 dunkers in the world that they want to ride with or something like that. I don't know. NBA players being in the dunk contest is over. It's been long over since Levine and Gordon, so they definitely got to switch to something where they don't have those big name guys in it, but they can still put on a show with like professional dunkers who focus on that. So, I mean, Mac McClung's been a dunker his whole life, so that's why he's really good.
Yeah. And he had, cool. Yeah. Hopefully something will be done. We'll bounce over. We'll stick with the NBA right now. Coach Vaughn fired from the Brooklyn Nets. What's going on there? That's just a dumpster fire of a team in itself over there. I mean, you talk about the turnaround they've kind of had over there. I mean, at one point we had KD, Kyrie Irving, James Harden all together, and that was just a mess. Total rebuild now. Things are going astray, and now the head coach is now fired. What are we thinking?
I mean, Jack Vaughn has been kind of put in an unfair situation since he started. He was in Steve Nash couldn't even get these guys to buy in what they were trying to do. And that's a Hall of Famer that had a very close relationship with Durant. Steve Nash was on the Warriors development staff when KD was on the Warriors. So, I mean, Jack Vaughn was thrown in there, you know, like put into Coach KD, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, all those guys, and then they all leave. And now he's coaching even a lot of big name players like Ben Simmons, Mikal Bridges, Spencer Dinwiddie, guys that still have egos. So, I mean, it was kind of an unfair shake to him from the start, but the most interesting thing is, you know, why did it take this long going into the break? There had to have been something where him and the upper management weren't getting along, and maybe they had 2 different ideas on what the team should look like going forward. But, I mean, and then he has Ben Simmons all year long for the last 2 years. Oh, he's playing. Oh, he's hurt. Oh, he's playing. Oh, he's hurt. A guy that doesn't know how to fit into any NBA system.
Yeah, he's literally become like,
holy shit, my bad. My computer just went black. But
he's literally turned into he's like irrelevant, man. You know what I mean? All that potential, and is it really mental health? Was he in his head? Was it something else? Like, don't want to joke about that topic, but at the same time, it's like, dude, it's bad. Like, he's hard to watch. I get you. He's never been a shooter. He's not going to be. But can you go, you know, reinvent yourself like Derrick Rose, or you know, can you be a smaller version of Rodman? You know what I mean? On the wing or something. Can you be versatile defender and give something, a Draymond Green, something? You know what I mean? Like, Draymond can't shoot either, but it's just weird how he's just kind of given up on, you know, his future, in my opinion. Or maybe he just doesn't. He lacks the ability or the competitive fury. I don't know. But yeah, the Nets are one of them organizations, man. Like there's certain times if you had a coaching opportunity or you had an opportunity, that's one of those organizations you just don't join. You know what I mean? You have them in football, you have them in baseball. There's just organizations you're like, why would I go there? Like, you know, why would I go there? The likelihood of me being supported and being successful in this organization, I just look at a track record and it doesn't exist in that place. So unique situation, but yeah, it's a dumpster fire for sure.
Yeah, I'll be interested, right? Like Sauce is saying, what happened? Because it's not like there's another coach out there. You know, they didn't do the Doc Rivers, 10 hours later,
Right.
have a new coach signed and brought in. Yeah, we'll see what comes out, but maybe, probably I won't say what I'm trying to say here is it's probably a disagreement with management. Right now, management's probably like, look, let's tank and get this pick. And he's like, look, I'm a winner. I'm here to win. I'm going to play these guys. And they don't tell you to lose that way, but they're like, hey, let's rest with ZJ can use a break. Let's get the young guys out there, see what we have. And he's probably like, man, I'm trying to win games. He's going to get paid next 2.5 years. He'll still get paid. And he'll be okay. But it's just interesting because, like, to your point, who wants to coach there? You'll take it because it's a job. It's a head coach job. But who are you going to bring in?
Well,
I don't know.
Well, they ended up getting Kevin Ollie.
He's the interim.
Okay.
Kevin Ollie's the interim, and people that don't know Kevin Ollie, he's a ex-NBA player, so he has that that going for him where he can kind of relate to the players. Kevin Ollie was also the guy that was coaching the UConn Huskies when they won the Natty Championship with what year was that? Like 14, 15? Yeah. Whenever UConn won before this last one, Kevin Ollie was their head coach, and he was honestly a high candidate to come out of UConn after that year to go be an NBA head coach. But he ended up staying, got fired, and he kind of, has been working his way in the NBA system. So, I mean, Kevin Ollie is not a bad hire as of who you can get right now for that type of team. So it'll be interesting how he does with that, though.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Sticking with the NBA here, guys, real quick. Now that we have full here, kind of wanted to get we kind of talked about this last time, kind of futures we're seeing with the Eastern and Western Conference. Kind of wanted to get Witt's take. Where are you kind of at future-wise? Who are you seeing making a big impact at playoff? And leaps you're seeing, or anyone you're kind of really got your eye on right now?
No, I think it's Boston's, right? Like I think Boston has to go out and they're under, I believe, the most scrutiny, the most pressure to win in the East. I think the Knicks, if healthy, obviously, I don't know if Randall coming back makes them better or messes up some chemistry. That'll be an interesting thing if he comes back completely healthy. So over in the East, I think, the West is intriguing to me more so. I think the Wolves are obviously, interesting, but Karl Anthony Towns, I just don't think he has that in his veins, man. I think when it gets down to it, nut crunching time, he's gonna, he's soft. So you got Denver, but I like the Clippers, man. I think they have a lot of people to guard people out on the wings. I think
Clippers are looking nice.
Yeah, Kawhi is obviously that dude. You know what I mean? At that time, as long as he stays healthy, So I think it's going to be interesting. I think the play-in games, if it stays where it is with so few games left, I think when you look at, you could have the Warriors trying to play in against the Lakers. You could have the Lakers playing against, Phoenix. Like there's all kinds of interesting things going on there. So the play-in games will be interesting. Somebody's going to be left out, probably a major superstar. And then, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think if Boston doesn't win, I don't know what you do with that squad. The coach is gone. Someone in management.
The coach for sure. We were kind of talking about this last time. We all think the coach is definitely. It's must win for the Celtics. I mean, they've had so many opportunities in these past couple of years, haven't been able to get it done. So, yeah, it's really win or go home over there in the East for the Celtics.
Yeah.
Excellent. You got the West. The West is still stacked, right? I kind of brought it up last week. I think there's levels to the playoff. I think OKC will have a nice start, but they'll learn that as they get in there. I still like the Clippers, and I know ZJ, I hate to say it, but like Denver just needs to wake up. He lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
They're in 4th place. They're sitting in 4th. And full disclosure, besides Whit, the 3 of us are in Colorado. So all you hear in the news is that they'll turn it on. They'll turn it. There's no such thing as turning it on come playoffs. You got to figure this out now. We got a limited time to get it done. Doesn't mean they can't. Again, they got the best player in the world playing with them. But after lost 3 in a row, it's just kind of like, I don't get it. We got this, we got that. That Clipper team's stacked if they're healthy.
Let me throw this out too. When you look at who they went through last year versus who they're going to have to go through this year, whether they make it to the finals or even going through the West, it's going to be obviously the playoffs are called a lot different. They're officiated a lot different. It's going to be more physical teams this year. They're going to have to play.
The playoffs is going to be crazy.
It's not going to be like last year. The Lakers, like they went through some teams that did not play physical brands of basketball. You know what I mean?
They did not. They had a very cheesecake way to the finals. Yes.
So that's going to be interesting. Is you don't just turn it on and get physical all of a sudden.
So thank you there.
Well, I mean, I'm being honest, ZJ. They did have it easy. They did have a pretty damn easy way.
What did we go 16-4? We were just losing people.
You guys did what you have to do. Trust me, the Warriors had easy ways too. The Warriors had easy paths.
You beat who was in front of you.
But you beat who was in front of you. There's a reason for that. The Warriors had easy pass, so I'm not being like biased towards easy.
I don't want to hear the easy pass on some of these teams coming to falter though. Like the whole Suns, KD and D, but that's another team come playoff time. There's something might be done over there with that team. A coach might be fired. Something might happen because they need to figure it out over there too. I'm not going to take any.
Listen, coach. Yeah, coach will be fired if they don't make.
But no, I hear what you're saying. No, I agree. I totally agree with you guys. This playoffs is going to be crazy.
It'll be a lot harder. Like what
it definitely will be. Man, this West is crazy over here. Not so much so in the East. East is kind of, but West, man, there's some sleeper teams over there. Like, and it's just you don't really know right now. So, and it's crazy to say right now, we have 27 games left in the regular season, so not a lot of time. Kind of what he's saying. But I mean, we'll start to see what happens. We get our first M game start up again this Thursday, so we'll definitely get some more player picks, some prop bets, spreads out there to you guys again Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Catch Sach and myself every morning for that NBA player prop early line edition, as catch fellas every Monday and Thursday night, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We'll try to get more spreads going. 27 games left in this regular season. Been real solid with the NBA plays, so want to keep that train moving, as well as we will keep the parlay show going at Saturday, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Get everyone's best picks going forward. Been looking really well with the plays, fellas. So, I mean, not a lot of time left with the NBA. We're going to happen. No, this one's going to be fun. And especially come kind of finals time, obviously we're going to get together, have some stars, probably play some good money down on some things for ourselves and everything. But we'll get that going for the show as well to the viewers and listeners. But going through that, we're also rolling over. We are less than 4 weeks from the NCAA selection time, the big dance, ladies and gents. And this is going to be another good one. Where are we at with this? I kind of wanted to throw out there as a group, we might need to, tell the show, hey, we're taking some time. We're taking that first day off, and all of us are heading up to the Hawk all-day basketball action, seeing what's going on. But kind of where we're at with it, guys. Another big thing coming here soon.
I'll tell you, UConn is just a beast right now. They've won 14 in a row. Even if they lose a game between now and then, I mean, they're just playing at a whole different level. I get it. They're coming out there with the Big East. It's not one of those power conferences, but UConn looks like they're a step above everybody else. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what are your thoughts on Purdue with Zach Edey?
Oh God, it's like I can't trust them.
They're a team that just folds.
I lost money last year on these guys, man. I don't know. We got to see what happens.
Crazy.
Yeah, and it's funny too because they lose to Ohio State, and then what does Ohio State have? They got that old new coach first game with a new coach going on, and they beat Purdue. So you got to win those games, right? I mean, that's just it. I get it. Purdue's they're definitely going to be a 1 seed, and they can get there. But I just think right now that and they're the number 1 team. So I'm shocked calling them with a number 1 team, but UConn is just balling out. They let me get here. They scored almost 100 more points than any other team in the NCAA right now. So yeah.
I know he always loves this conversation. From a Duke perspective, what do you think? Do you think there's like a lot of residual from Krzyzewski? When do you think Shire starts to earn his stripes? Like, okay, do you think, is it the shopping that Krzyzewski did, and he's kind of rolling in with that? Is it next year? Is it the year after? What do you see them doing in the tournament this year? And what do you think they should be doing under his leadership?
Duke? I mean, Duke, yeah. They got the 8 seed, so if it stays like that, there'll be a 2 seed. They'll be the last, right? But I think without Coach K, you lose the shine, right? He was the driver. It wasn't necessarily what he was driving; it was who was driving. And so kids want to play for Coach K, not necessarily want to go to Duke. And now the new coach, he says to reestablish his core. You see it going on with North Carolina. A lot of these traditionally old, schools where people went to, but it's Coach K specifically was an entity within himself. I want Coach K's shine. I want to play for Coach K, not necessarily I want to go play for Duke. And that's what they have to get.
That's what I think is interesting, right? Because there's a lot of parents, I bet, that were like, you're going to go to Duke, you're going to get an education, you're going to be developed. You knew Coach K was going to develop you. Then he had the Team USA thing, that people were like, this dude is, so he had a lot of that. I wonder, and that's what I say, I like Jon Scheyer a lot, but I don't see the charisma. I don't see the it factor yet. I know he played at Duke. He was a solid player. But I wonder if that wanes going, something they get an early exit from the tournament, and then next year's recruiting, and then how many recruits do they lose in North Carolina, 8 miles, 7 miles up the road just due to Coach K's departure? Because Carolina's
it's unfair to any coach, right? To put him up against Coach K. He's in a bad place. But so I started watching the game this weekend, texting back and forth. You got that freshman. He went off. Was it McCann?
Yeah,
a freshman.
McCain.
Yeah,
man, you get a couple more of those cats, you'll be doing just fine again. But overall, Coach K's gone, and I think he was the program. It wasn't necessarily Duke.
The other thing, I don't know if you guys
Syracuse, they're everywhere, right? You go to the longevity in the coaches, and that's who you want to play for. It's not, and you will have. Hey, I grew up a Duke fan. I grew up a Syracuse Orangeman. But when you find out there's a new coach there, you're kind of like, Alabama's calling or whoever. So
So with UConn got. They got veteran guards over there. They got 3 senior guards over there that can really play. And come March Madness time, experience has a lot to do in veteran guard play. So I like UConn, obviously, them being, the juggernaut that they are right now. And then them having senior guards, it's a good recipe to repeat for sure. So I like an older team, a more traditional 3-4 year type caliber program. So you kind of have my vote right now. So
great segue because out here, I think the window on San Diego State is closing. Right, they're that team, 3-4 year veterans. Obviously, made a run last year. A local team gets a lot of coverage. I obviously watch them a lot. We're out of the top 25. Recently got back in, climbed all the way back to 19, 20-6. Very senior roster, undersized team. So it'll be interesting to see can they get to at least the Elite 8, Final 4 again, or even the Sweet 16 and continue to propel that program and continue tooling. But it was great to watch them and be local for that. It was like all the bars, all the sports bars, everything was like. I mean, San Diego doesn't have anything. Lost football team, The Padres, spent a bunch of money, didn't do anything. After beating the Dodgers the year before. It's just bad times, and it was cool to see the energy with San Diego State. So I'm hoping, being down here, that they'll they'll make some noise in the tournament again and send those guys off that have stayed at the university for a long time. But that's a team I'm watching closely, just being local and then seeing what they did last year. So
we'll we'll definitely see what happens. I mean, this tournament is just a different beast. This thing, I mean, your trip can be over that first day, no matter who you are, which is the beauty of this whole thing. Absolute beauty, but kind of what Sach and E are kind of had over. Look out for some of these veteran guards on some of these teams, because that's where you can see the real experience start to take off here. I mean, you can tell kind of the maturity of some of these guys in some of these games, especially deep into the tourney. We'll see what happens, but I don't know about you guys. This is honestly obviously a couple of weeks. This is my favorite time of the year. I mean, I think the Super Bowl is definitely up there for me, but when March Madness comes around, woo, kick off your shoes, ball on all day. Like I said, as a show, I think we might need to take some time off and head up to the casino for day 1 or day 2, because that's where it gets crazy.
Let me know, when's it kick off? When's March Madness kick off?
I think like 19th.
Selection show is a week or a month from last night.
Oh, so
we're just under a month, just under 4 weeks.
We'll have to do something as a show, because it'll be crazy.
Let me know. I can get a cheap ticket out straight from San Diego to Denver. That's an easy leg.
Yeah, we'll start to look for stuff. We'll start to look for stuff we want to do play wise too, and everything, because there's just going to be action, so much going on. So we'll get a good thing going. Love it, fellas. Here we go. Here we're off again. Definitely want to keep the plays hot. Just to iterate, last 3 days before All-Star break, went 3-1 on the NBA player props. Sach went 3 straight days 2-0, so he's definitely feeling it. Doing well, doing good things. Myself, 7-2 on all the unders. That's kind of been my lock, not my lock, but my insight this year. I've been loving some of these unders, and then E as well, locking in on the football, all things UC and whatnot. Doing well. We killed it as a unit. E Wit Sach, 16-6 on NFL plays, spreads, any player props. We were in on it, so. Looking to get back to it, guys. Again, Thursday is when the NBA starts up again, so looking to get some more plays going. Right now, it's kind of a dry time. Really, NHL is the only thing really going on right now at the moment, so we'll try to get some ins and outs going that way, but definitely want to hammer it hard once the NBA season kicks back up again. And same thing, like he was saying, once this tournament starts for college, we're going to be locked in, guys. So please just tune into us again every day. Tune into all the socials. We are going to be tossing out plays left and right. What the beautiful thing about this show and about this team is, each of us, different backgrounds, but we have a different eyesight on each place. So that's what makes it so beautiful. Sach might see something I don't see. E's always got an eye for something. Wit's always in there sniffing out something. So we got it up and rolling, guys. So, yeah, he's up and going. But love it, guys. Kind of wanted to open the floor up now for anything you guys had or anything just came to your mind you guys want to throw out there, sports wise or just anything in general.
Dude, NBA MVP. Who you guys? I mean, there's no who you guys like. There's no for me. I think I know where I'm at with my front runner, OKC's, SGA, but I think it's his to lose if they have a strong, especially finish of the season. I think they'll do anything not to give it a Joker. Obviously, Embiid is plus he bookmarked some years that are just nuts. But I mean, if Embiid comes back and plays a couple games, he could potentially win it. Zach, you know what I mean?
I think we kind of go back to what E was saying with the Nuggets and them kind of messing around right now. We'll see the step they take after this All-Star break if they get back in the gear. If that's the case and they're off and rolling, I just see it's kind of what you were saying with SGA. It's really Jokic's award to lose at this point, right? Because he's definitely that top candidate. We're just going to have to see how serious these guys are heading in. 27 games left before playoffs. Dude, I love SGA. I mean, watching that guy play, that dude's a ball player. I mean, that dude, he's awesome. And we go back to kind of what we were saying earlier about this OKC team. these guys are only going to get better, I believe. I mean, they got some top drafts next year. Such a young team. They're still developing. They're not even in their primes over there. So look for some amazing things to happen with OKC. Those guys in the next couple years, I could definitely see them being in the finals 100%.
He's plus 210, so that's not a bad pick. He's right below the Joker. Hold on, I just set it up. Stand by. Joker is minus 140. SGA is plus 210. And then Giannis plus 900. Luka plus 1,200. And then you start going out to Kawhi at 7,500, 2,900 for Tatum. So they're looking at it as a two-man race. And, I mean, that's not bad. The money on there, it's not bad right now. What happens? Yeah. I'm not putting Juju out there, but what happens if Denver can't pull it together? You going to give an MVP to a 6th seed when OKC wins the West?
100%. And I love with the SGA too is he's still so young, but he's definitely trying to get some of these achievements, put his name up there in the rafters. So, I mean, taking him for an MVP slot would not be a bad selection there. I mean, he's going to do what it takes for sure.
I mean, like Giannis is there, but I don't see it. Milwaukee's slipping. They'd have to turn it around a lot for Giannis to get there. Jason Tatum is kind of a sneak out there, but it's like, man, just the money on it. You're thinking that he's not even in the conversation at plus 2,900. But
I think those guys like Joker and Giannis and those guys, they have years when they won MVP that are so out there that people are like, you know what I mean? I think they're going to measure it to that, especially Joker being so recent. So that'll be interesting. But I like SGA.
I would. So I agree with pretty much all what you guys are saying. I think it is definitely, if Denver can turn it around this final stretch, obviously it's going to be Joker to get the MVP. But I think a guy that has kind of been pretty much disrespected this whole year and that no one's talking about for MVP is Donovan Mitchell. I mean, when you look at the Cavs' success, it's solely off of pretty much Donovan Mitchell. He's been without Evan Mobley for a lot of the year. Jarrett Allen has been dinged up. Darius Garland has been dinged up and out for a long stretch. These guys were on an 18-2 run for the last 20 games, and that was pretty much off of solely Donovan Mitchell carrying these guys, averaging 25 plus. So I would think, if the Cavaliers can stay in that number 2 position, I would think that at least Donovan Mitchell is in the top 3. Because look at the Celtics, they can win. The Celtics can take the 1st seed because they have such a good team. You look at Porzingis, they have a big 3, big 4, whatever you want to call it. If the Cavs stay in the 2nd seed, it's because of Donovan Mitchell. It's not because of Darius Garland and Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, all those guys. Donovan Mitchell is going to be the guy driving that horse, and I think that for a dark horse MVP pick for me would probably be Mitchell at plus 15,000. I literally think ZJ wants to sit up here and talk about, Nikola Jokic disrespect, blah blah blah. These dudes are the 2nd seed in the East. And Donovan Mitchell hasn't got a sniff of media attention for an MVP candidate. I think that's just completely wrong. I think it's just basically because he's in a lower market city. The Cavaliers, everyone kind of just, they had a slow start to the season, and they kind of just brushed them off to the side. So I think Donovan Mitchell for maybe even a little sprinkle at plus 15,000, $10, whatever you want to do on it. That's not a bad get, especially if they can stay in that 2nd seed. And the Bucks are at number 3 right behind them, and I don't honestly see them, finishing the season out strong like they should. So I like Donovan Mitchell as my dark horse MVP pick.
What are you going to say, ZJ?
No, I'm good. No, I like where he's going with it. 2nd in the East and everything. I was just going to say, it's nothing. But I like it. I like what he's saying. There's some
let me give you this, Dan. Let me give you this. Just looking at the odds, and I might even put a little something on tonight. I don't know. Jason Tatum might be my pick. And let me tell you why. I just don't think that the voters are going to give it to the young guy. And Giannis is down, or even say Donovan Mitchell. I'm going to give the number 2 seed to MVP instead of the 1. And I get it, Boston's stacked, but who's their captain? Right? And this is a chance for him to get recognized because everybody else is having a down year. I don't think they're going to elevate a youngster up. They'll anoint him, get him his, then he can have his part. And at plus 2,900, that's not too bad. I mean, a lot of things have to play out. They have to maintain out there, but Donovan Mitchell would have to get. They'd have to get the 1 seed, I think, right?
No,
you're going to give the MVP.
I like it, but I like it because he actually, I mean, looking at some of the stats and some things, leads his team in the 3 of the 5 major categories, right? Jalen Brown leads in steals, and then Porzingis in blocks, but he leads in scoring, assists, rebounds. 27.1 a game, 8.6 rebounds a game, 6+ assists a game. Number 1, obviously in the East. I could see that happening. What'd you say the odds were on that though? On Jason
2,900.
Yeah,
2,900.
You know, and I think the league. I think the league is searching for that next guy, man. It's almost like, I mean, you got Giannis, you got Joker, LeBron's, there, but it's like for me, it's not Tatum, the charisma, but who's that guy? And I think they've been wanting to Tatum to take that next step. I could see that. Yeah. I could see it going that way. Leading stats, 3 of the 5 major categories on the best record in the NBA.
Yeah. ZJ, what do you have to say, man? Don't do to people like that. America wants to know.
I love.
Is it joking?
I love the. It's just the problem I have over there with any MVP candidate is just the division. Really, I mean, there's not a lot going on over in that Eastern Conference, and I'm not trying to hate over there, right? I obviously think the Celtics are great. Cavs are doing some great things, but I mean, that whole division over there it's been really poor. A lot of shifts going around. You're going to see a lot of teams start to shift come these last 27 games. That it's kind of like almost like the reverse of the playoffs last year where the Nuggets might have had an easy road. Well, right there over in the East doesn't look like too much of a hard road come playoff time. No. Obviously things can change.
But and where you guys always know where I come to when I come with these. I'm looking for the value, right? I got to pay minus 140.
Oh, yeah. No, and I love that. Yeah.
But I'm trying to play it in the sense, and it's negative here, but let's just say they drop from 4 to 6. Is Joker the MVP? Maybe not. And then, okay, where do we go? SGA? Yes, but they don't give it to the young guys. They're going to say, hey, we had a guy out here. We're going to try to give him his now. Let him come up to that tier. That's my thinking. A lot can go down, but
you don't think
they're still the favorite.
You don't think they'll pull a Derrick Rose? You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what. If OKC somehow manages to get the number 1 slot here, I mean, SGA, that would be a nice one. I hear you with the young guy thing, but if they can a young team like that secure the number 1 seed, that might be his for the taking.
Yeah.
He's at 31. He's at 31.1, and then 6.5 assists. Also leads his team in steals, 2.2, and then Chet Holmgren has the most rebounds, 7.6, and then you got blocks, 2.6. So again, 3 of the 5. He's the second player to score 30 points or more in the first 50 games, 35 times. Jordan's the other one. Crazy stat. Looking at last week, we've had 35 plus games of 30 points or more in the first 50. So that was kind of insane. And we'll see. And then when you look at like the amount of minutes he's playing, he's playing right at everyone else too, 34.5, 35. So
we all got 4 different players we chose. We can have a little tracker every Thursday, see where our guys are at in the standings.
Yeah. No, I like it. Everyone, that valid points by everyone. And I love the dark horses. I do really like SGA just because he's new. It's just hard too with Jokic. I mean, it's hard when a guy is pretty much averaging a triple double, and we're talking, and he's a center. This dude has double-digit assists as a center. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. That is crazy. Like it's like the reason why I
So
get
what about
so
Sabonis? So what about Sabonis?
Yeah.
hang on.
Sabonis,
The reason
Hey, let
The
DJ
reason-
get it out. Let DJ get it out.
Give me 1 second.
Well, let's
The
talk
reason
about
why-
assist centers. Let's talk about Sabonis.
Well,
Give
let
me
get it
1
out.
second. The reason why I get so like with the media and everything is it's almost like Jokic breaks like a record almost every night, but it's like just goes unwanted, unwished, or nothing. I mean, the dude is doing some crazy ass things. You go back, even going back to the finals, the man led the league in points, assists, and rebounds in the whole finals, in the whole playoffs. Like that is
Wasn't he the
insane.
MVP?
No, he was, but I'm talking about the whole playoffs. You know what I mean? So that's unheard of, right? That's crazy.
Well, let's stay on this year though, and Sach brings up a very compelling thing. We didn't
Hey,
mean to make it.
who leads the NBA in triple doubles?
Yeah,
Sabonis.
that's why I don't think Joker will get it because he's done that in the past, and he's
The
has
fucking guy led the league in triple doubles and didn't even make the All-Star game. Could you imagine if that was Jokic? The dude who leads the league in triple doubles didn't even make the All-Star game.
Yeah.
So what are we
it's tough
doing?
over there.
What are we going off of?
It's tough over there because De'Aaron Fox got screwed too. He should have been an All-Star this year.
So is it by
Might be the market. I don't know.
Hey, it's so funny
I'm just
seeing
stating
the kids fight. You know what I mean? The kids fight. I think Zach's beanie's gotten tighter during this conversation.
I mean,
18 triple doubles and he didn't even make the All-Star game as a center.
All I'm saying is right now, if Jokic ends up winning the MVP and they end up winning the championship again, don't let Jokic win the Finals MVP because he will be in the same category as Patrick Mahomes. And I will end with that.
But what do you like? I guess I'm trying to figure out though, like, and I felt he should have been MVP last year.
Yes,
he just should have. But he was Finals MVP. He was recognized. If he's this year's MVP, he's I don't know what you want. Like,
and you
never enough. I live here. It's never enough. It's never.
Hey,
enough.
you got to chill though.
It's the market. He's not.
I want to make sure the viewers know. Zach, I don't think Zach meant the excited utterance that he just spewed about the Mahomes piece. Come on, bro.
Look at the timeline. Look at how much Jokic has already accomplished. Okay, but we're not playing one game for the championship. We're playing 4 games. Look how much Jokic has accomplished in time in the league. Also, Jamal Murray has been out for the past 2 years, right? I mean, the dude's been doing a lot of damage here. The dude is the only All-Star on the team.
Jokic is 30.
And he didn't have Jamal for the past 2 years.
Jokic is almost 30. It's not like he's like 24. Jokic is almost 30. He's getting up there.
He's got 1 chip, dude. Mahomes got 3, 4.
If you would want to build
30 years old. I don't know why the Nuggets fans act like he's like 24.
If you would want to build an NBA franchise around one guy right now,
not a 29-year-old.
SGA.
Not a 29-year-old.
SGA. Why would you not build it around SGA?
Dude turns average dudes into looking like they're all.
Let me give you a suggestion, man. Let me give you honest.
3 rings by this time.
Yeah. Let me give you a real suggestion because
Curry had 4 All-Stars.
Hey, listen here, right? I don't watch ESPN. I don't watch Fox Sports. I listen to VSiN. I listen to Sports
to
Grid.
the Denver radio fan. That's who
I don't listen to Denver radio. I listen to sports gambling radios. I listen to sports betting handicapper shows. And the majority of them say Joker is the greatest player. You're listening to fucking commentators that talk about every sport in the world and you're getting worked up, or you're driving to work listening to Zuni and the Rabbit in the morning show. And, in Denver, and Joker didn't get a parade today, so he's being disrespected. But I can honestly tell you that people that do this shit for a living, he is highly rated. He just is. But you're listening to the wrong people. What do you do?
He's listening to shows that want views. They want views, so they want to ride.
Yeah, they're going to do LA. They're going to do New York when you talk about the national side, right? They're going to do Chicago, the big
Curry.
market team.
Yeah.
But
you
let
got,
me
you got
tell you,
Jones.
man, he
Jones
is,
is almost like
Let me-
Jones is almost like in the camp. He's like offended because like no one's walking up to the crew being like, "Hey, that dude's the fucking man." You know what I mean? He getting
I think,
a
like,
little.
the circles I listen to, that's what they say. You're listening to the wrong
Let's,
shit, bro.
And I'm
Yeah.
saying Jokic is the best player in the league. He's my pick for MVP. But I'm just giving a dark horse, and I'm just trying to level the playing field and give out the stats that are like deserved. I live here.
But if you're waiting for Skip Bayless,
So
I don't think it's going to happen.
And
I live here.
all of my friends are Nuggets fans, and these dudes want Jokic to be like, they want him to get like
A
10
logo.
MVPs in 1 year. I'm like, that doesn't happen. And then they go on to say
The
Jokic is
logo. They want him to be the
MVP.
logo.
They want
That's
him to
not
be the
enough.
logo.
Replace that shit.
They want him to win the 3-point contest because have you seen him shoot the ball? Like he just doesn't do it because he's so good. And then they say this,
All right.
and then they say this. He don't even care about basketball. Like you look at him, this is a side hustle. Like, come on, what are we doing?
Side up.
And then they say this. They're like, oh, look at his arms. He don't get no calls. He got scars everywhere. I'm like, well, if he has a scar 10 years ago, he's still gonna have that same scar.
Why do I feel like it's gonna be a-
Hey,
They're like, I go to Hooters and watch the game, and they're like, look at Jokic's arms, and he gets no calls. I'm like, he had those fucking scars last year. Of course they're going to be there.
Yeah.
Like, what are we
think
doing? And then
it's gonna
Steph
be
goes out there and scores 150 points in 4 games, and I'm like, look at his scars. Look at his scars. He don't get no free throws. He had 4 free throws in a 4-game span. And I'm like, don't talk to me about disrespected superstars that don't get free throws. Like, that just – I don't know what to say. I don't know.
Who had 4 free throws?
It was like Steph Curry only had like 4 free throws made over the past
Yeah,
like 4 or
that
5
dude gets-
games,
that
and he
dude
had like
gets
160
Steph
points.
Curry's got he's got scratches on him, welts on him every game. He's 35 years old. That dude's insane.
I love
but
Joker.
I feel like it's gonna be an awkward midnight
I think
snack, man. You guys,
you're listening to the wrong.
yeah.
You're listening to
Tell
the
him,
wrong
tell him.
information, Jones. He's there. I'm just saying he is,
Yeah.
man. Listen to 910. Listen to VSiN. Listen to these sports gambling radios or the shows. Not the fucking guys who talk football, baseball, everything at one time. They're trying to get you pissed off. That ain't
Yeah.
it.
And he's
No,
not
I-
like
And
With that
I
being
still
said,
remember-
Jokic is the best player in the
remember
league.
when
I will
yes.
leave that.
I got-
Jokic is
no,
the
I-
best player in the league.
remember when the
We-
Warrior brother, the Morris brother, gave him that shot in the back, and he sent that motherfucker out in track. And Joker's a gangster. He
Yeah.
gave him
Yeah, he is.
pop that guy.
The boy, the
Joker's
boy's
a
from
gangster.
Serbia.
He gave his
The
brother-
boy's
he's-
from Serbia.
yeah.
that's the difference though between like some of these dudes, these Americans, like them dudes entertained violence every day when they woke up. It was real violence, like you know what I mean. It wasn't gang violence. It was like cultural wars. Like people died.
Yeah.
You don't do something, they tell you they kill family members. Violence. Like those dudes, they're not to be messed with, man. Like some of these guys, I grew up in the hood. Okay, you guys drive by firing out a window aimlessly. These guys will be assassinated. You know what I mean? Like straight up like they grew up in fear and hard times. That cracked me up when that happened. I was like, dude, you don't want none of these guys. And then on top of his brothers, they wasn't hesitating either. They were about that business. You know what I mean? They were there like
Brothers are legit.
everyone else was kind of shocked how fast they engaged. And it was like, nah, bro, that's just how they roll. Like it's different. There's no hesitation. So
And
we get a Joker respect, you know what I mean?
And earlier in
Yeah,
the
maybe
league, when
every
Joker got,
then we can switch
Joker
up.
got kicked out of a game.
Yeah,
You guys remember
let's
when
do
Joker
this.
got kicked out of the Bulls game earlier in the
We
year, and he
start-
was like, "I would have loved to see how it's handled if we were in Serbia." I was like, "Damn."
Yeah.
Let's start the show, every show, with this a 30-second clip of Joker, a homage, maybe some music behind it. a
We
love
might have
story,
to, bro. We might have to.
Whatever
I don't know.
whatever we can
I-
do.
I hear what you guys are saying. I just got 2 things. First thing first, I just want my guy chilling in the beaches of Sunboard, just having a good life. Second thing, I agree with you. I need to listen to the VSiN. I need to get on that VSiN show, as well as all the viewers and listeners out there need to get on the BCS After Hours show. That is us. The fellas are here.
That's it.
8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time every Monday through Thursday night. Guys, tune into us weekly. Good. And before we wrap this show up, we always throw out Monday's segment. We got Wit's Wisdom in that house. Wit Wisdom. Gotta
I don't
hear
Bring
even
him
it.
the big screen. Bring him the big screen.
Yeah, I don't know if I if I go inspirational, try to, talk ZJ off this cliff, because I don't know what's going to happen when we shut this thing down. I think it's going to be an awkward kitchen meeting if they both go get a snack at the same time. You know what I mean? Just glaring at each other, side-eyeing. But no, seriously, ZJ and Sach, and there was a vision for what we're doing here, and they had a goal, and there was things that were standing between their goal and the success that they wanted for this show. So move it, go around it, find a way. Don't be afraid of failure. I think that's kind of what we're trying to show every week, is say, as we embark on this, don't be afraid of failure, dream big. And just remember, man, the most important conversation you're going to have is the one you have with yourself. So when you look in the mirror every day, the conversation you have with yourself is the most important conversation you're going to have. Appreciate all you viewers. Appreciate all the listeners. Weird time of year. NBA starting back up. NCAA's moving into these things. Golf. Daytona 500 kicked off today. It's all kinds of things out there. Football ended. We're past the New Year's resolution. So stay positive, stay motivated, stay active. And remember, have positive conversations with yourself. Appreciate it.
100%. You guys heard it here first. Every Monday, Wits Wisdom is here to get you guys rocking through the week. Guys, we are a full team here. That's the BCS After Hours show, guys. You can catch us every Monday, Thursday, 8 p.m. Standard Time. That'll do it for tonight. Just quickly around the room, anything from the fellas?
No, next time we chop it up, NBA will be tipped off Thursday. It was a great week off, got to decompress and kind of view the field and, talk about things other than NBA. So it was a good thing, and glad to have the boys here. So looking forward to seeing you guys Thursday.
Yeah. Hey, I might get a Joker background for next week. I want to make sure we're doing what we need to do for him out here in California. You know what I mean? Hey, I don't need you, Tanya Harding and no one so that Joker gets the MVP. You know what I mean?
Hail the king.
Yeah.
Hey, ZJ didn't even smile on that. Listen,
Nah.
we talked about
even
we started
funny.
the show talking about the no competition, I guess, in the NBA, and I guess what we need is we need the NBA full of Manny Pacquiao's. And today, the Olympic Committee denied his waiver to compete for the Philippines in the 2024 Olympics. He wanted to suit up for his country and go box. He's 45 years old. He says, man, let me put these mitts on for Philippines and go represent my town. That's what we need when we gather up in these cities to play these games, man. These guys that are just proud of where they're from and who they're representing and go out there and ball. But and shout out to Manny Pacquiao for wanting to do that. The guy's one of the greatest, and he wants to go box amateurs now to bring back a gold to his country.
Hold up. Before this, another big thing that we get a touch on in the coming future after this season, the 2024 World Cup, USA is going to be in it, and I wonder if our boy Jokic is going to suit up in it for Serbia. And who do you guys think that ZJ's World Cup pick's going to be?
I'm not gonna.
Is it going to be Serbia?
No, he's rocking America.
Yeah,
he's rocking America.
Now.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead, ZJ.
There
Send
we
us
go.
home,
The
brother.
Bulls like to have a little
What a
fun
good
here,
move.
guys. That's the BCS After Hours show. We will catch you guys Thursday night, and we will see you there.
Boom.
Peace, gents.
ZJ, love you, man.